Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm here today to talk to you about the 2021 iPad Pro 12.9 inch. It has the fantastic M1 chip in it, and this tablet has a big problem, in quotations, and that does have a meaning to it. But you may be thinking, is it the blooming issue? The screen has blooming issues because of the mini LED. No, that's not it. It's not the Apple Pencil and how it falls off the side all the time. It's not even the price, which of course is a big price tag for a big tablet. The big problem with this tablet is that it's too big. Yes, I said it. It's too big. And we're going to talk about this in depth. But before we go into this, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's talk about the big problem with the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. So the iPad Pro 12.9 inch is a marvel of modern technology. It has the M1 chip in it, and people have been singing its praises for almost a year now. M1, the M1's the best one ever. The M1 is the reason you should go buy this. Go buy the M1 version of this. Get rid of your old one, the M1, the M1, M1. Well, now it's in here. It's inside the 2021 iPad Pro, whether you get the 11 inch or the 12.9 inch. Now, I've made a video previously about how the Tab S7 Plus has a big problem because it's too big. And I stand by that 1000%. You can be angry in the comments, whatever. This is not a review of the tablet. This is me talking about my personal opinion on the tablet. And I've talked to other people. Other people have the same issue. It's too big. It's cool. It's powerful. It is an amazing productivity device. You can get the Magic Keyboard case. You can do all sorts of things with it. It's got mouse support. You can do sidecar. You can use your Apple Pencil. This is, quite frankly, maybe the greatest productivity tablet ever made in the history of mankind. Even stacking up against the Tab S7 Plus, which is so near and dear to my heart and I love. But as a tablet, looking at this as a tablet, something that people use on a day-to-day basis for tablet purposes, you're probably saying, look, I know there are some of you watching this video right now who use this to its fullest capacity as a pro-level device. But you're not thinking about the other person who's watching this video who's trying to decide whether they should go buy it because they think they need a really powerful tablet. They think they want the biggest and the best tablet there is out in the market. That is the 12.9 inch iPad. Plain and simple. So there are people that are watching this video that are thinking, hey, I want to go buy one of these. Should I buy one? The answer, if you don't know that, probably no. And of course, $1,100 introductory price to get in the door. You would think that would be cost prohibitive for a lot of people, but it's not. There are so many ways to get these nowadays without having to shell out $1,100 from your checking account. It's beautiful. It's got a beautiful, gorgeous screen. ProMotion display. It's got the M1 chip. It's got quad stereo speakers. It's got a USB-C port on the bottom. It is an amazing tablet. So don't let you leave this video thinking it's not a good product. It is. It's an amazing product, but it may not be for you. And you're probably saying, well, dummy, why don't you get the 11 inch? There's an 11 inch model. Look, I get that. I know that. I've seen it. I saw the size before I got it. This is not a new thing. It's an industry standard. It's been around for years, the 12.9 inch capacity. But using it for a day-to-day basis, for things like typing, for things like handheld use, for like handheld communication, for like playing games, for just watching videos, for doing social media, for doing Pinterest, all those great things, you get hand fatigue, you get arm fatigue. If you're laying in bed, it's too big, it's colossal, it stands up really high, it's really wide, it's heavy. It's not a light thing to use. And there are other models you can get. You can get the traditional 10.2 inch iPad, you can get the iPad mini, you can get the iPad Air, you can get the iPad Pro 11 inch. This is solely focused on the iPad Pro 12.9. And again, I can sing all the resounding praises in the world. It's a very good tablet. But at the end of the day, if you want to use it for tablet stuff, if you want to use it for traditional tablet purposes and not for productivity, not for design, not for graphics design, not for video editing, not for a computer replacement, not for something you're going to connect a keyboard to, it really starts to lose a lot of its luster because in day-to-day performance, it's gigantic and it's off-putting. It makes you not want to use it. I have mine and I rarely use it because it's just so gigantic. I bought it because I'm a tech nerd and I bought it because I review stuff. I wanted to try out the new M1 iPad. I'm hoping that eventually we'll get Final Cut Pro and other different apps that are supported on here, kind of like a desktop platform. But when I use this, when I would typically use a tablet, like if I'm laying down at night, if it's in the evening, if I just want to play around on my tablet and do things, it's very cumbersome. It's very bulky. It's very large, and it's not very enjoyable to use. And using it with the Apple Pencil, that's great, but it just doesn't have the same level of support that Samsung does with the Tab S series line of devices and the S Pen. See, like with the S Pen, you can just draw straight on the keyboard. On this, you cannot. You have to use the floating keyboard, and then you can draw on that and use that for the sliding of the swipe, glide gestures, whatever you want to call it. The S Pen, you can do that as soon as the keyboard pops up. So there are drawbacks to it that I think that Apple needs to address, because they need to make it more easier to use with the S Pen for communication. Not just drawing on there and hoping it recognizes your text, or not just drawing using the swipe gestures on the floating keyboard. It needs to be available on the regular keyboard. And if you talk about, oh, we'll go get another keyboard app, 99% of people that watch this video that have concerns about this aren't going to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it as it was made and as it's intended to be. So, when we talk about the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, super powerful, beautiful display. It does so many things amazing and well. There's so much future application with the M1 chip that's in here. And if the cost wasn't enough to scare you off, if you think that you want this, if you thought that you needed this because it's such a powerful device and you want the best and brightest, and I run into this with people all the time. They're like, oh, I got the iPhone Pro 12 Max and I got 512 gigs of storage. And I'm like, well, how much of that do you actually use? And then they look at their storage and like, well, I use 46 gigabytes. I'm like, well, what do you normally use your phone for? Well, sending text messages, using Instagram, playing on Pinterest. You could have saved yourself a whole lot of money. And if I do nothing else in this video, it's to maybe dissuade people from going out and buying this if, one, you don't want to spend the money, or two, you think you need the best and brightest. You can get the same experience lacking a lot of this cumbersomeness and the bulk and the heft of the iPad, because it's gigantic. 12.9 inches, very, very big tablet. So maybe get the iPad Pro 11 inch, maybe get the iPad Air, maybe get the new iPad mini when it comes out. There are a lot of different options out there. You don't need the biggest one. And if you use it for just traditional horsing around, playing on your tablet, something you want to pick up in the evening as opposed to using your phone all the time, it's not necessarily the best for that. And that's the big problem with it. I think that not necessarily from Apple. Apple makes this tablet for a reason. There's nothing inherently wrong with the tablet. It's the real world application. And once the rubber meets the road in the consumer market, for the prosumer, for the professional market, it makes a lot more sense. Of course, yes, it does, because it's a pro model. But people want to buy this because they think it's the best, and they think it's the biggest, and they think that they need that. And then you get it when you get home and realize, I probably could have gone with the smaller tablet. So that's all I've got in this video. Hopefully this has helped out a few people. Whether you like it or don't like it, these are the points that I have to make about the tablet. It's very good. It's a very, very good tablet, but it's too big for normal tablet use, not for productivity level tasks. It's very good for that. Now, that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.